Hello traders, this is going to be a short recap video of DAX for Friday, December the 21st, and I'm doing a recording of this recap at Saturday. This in front of us is the updated chart that was posted on Friday before the open, and in the pre-market session market already tested cash close and made this pullback. So this kind of movement is a kind of setup for itself, but it happens in the pre-market before the market was open, so really it wasn't easy to catch this move for majority of traders. Now let's go to the charts and observe what was the possibilities that we had. So this was that test of cash close in the pre-market at 8 a.m. and just note that cash close gaps, those gaps are from the cash index and they can be closed only in regular trading hours. This touches here doesn't mean that the gap is closed. The gap was closed here in the regular trading hours. Okay, so market opened and they immediately made this push down at the open, near the open, a few minutes before the open, whatever. That is the time that we should place our additional references, meaning pre-market high and pre-market low on our charts, since those kind of references for DAX, pre-market high and pre-market low, and for the S&P, Russell, Nasdaq, all of those US markets, overnight low or overnight high could be very, very important references, not just to gauge market strength or weakness, but also we could have setups on it, as we could see on DAX also. So we had immediately after the open push down, but that push down really didn't provide much except to touch this lower line of this bear flag. So how was this bear flag made? First of all, let's delete this line and okay. So what do we have first before this drop down? We have this highs here and this low here. This is the fourth dot. It's 1, 2, 3. This was the fourth. So you will make this top line first because you already have two dots, and then you would make another line. So this was the first. You have your two dots. Let us extend it right now, and now you will make another one, and now you observe that right after the open you have a test of this channel. Now I wouldn't react really on this. That provided a move to the upside, but as I said in the morning notes, that we should be open for trades in both directions, but give bears an advantage until proven different, because DAX is in the bear market and we should really concentrate on more on selling the rips than buying the dips. And you could also take a different approach with different lot sizes. So you could go long with smaller size than short. Because if you are shorting the good location, the good rip into the zone, exhaustion move and so on, you will have odds on your side, you will have trend behind you. It's the same thing as going along on dips in a bull market in the bullish trends. So I wouldn't really consider this as some kind of long setup. Then we had push into this zone, but this zone, market was going right through it in the pre-market also, and in morning notes I said that how the DAX is going to react on yesterday low, which is here, and yesterday high, which is here, is going to be the tell of the market strength. And for entire session we didn't have a test of those two zones, only at the end, but also that this here zone zones below 645 to 660, we could see a reaction, and that was the crucial zone for trading on Friday. So after this kind of moves, now we see the market is going again down to the pre-market low, but really not testing this, and this was the main support for the day. And testing again, and now when they are breaking this pre-market low and still doesn't, you know, really make a move to the lower zone, to the yesterday low, and hanging there and making this kind of false breakdown, this here could be our entry for long trades. So this could be a long trade here, and really aiming for the market to go push from pre-market low to the pre-market high again. As we could see, there are ranges like this range here. There could be range developing here of the same size. The market could go up to the cash close and to pre-market high, and that was our exit for this trade. So this could be a counter move, a counter trend in this bearish environment. Trade and something that you really you know, you could skip that, but if you want to trade it, that was the best chance. You know, market was going once to the downside, second time to the downside, third time to the downside, but they still couldn't go to here. Pre-market low was the level that kept this, and that was the reason why to try along here. But you know, don't expect much of the fireworks on it. Just close it at the pre-market high. So that was the closing. That would be the closing of this. And then we had this kind of push, but really didn't get inside the zone. And here was the first trade, and I saw on Twitter that some traders got this move, and here was the school book closing of this trade could be here, because now we have this channel, and we had a reaction here, and this here comes at the time when US market is already open, and in how could I say that, in correlation with the S&P, this kind of move. And the closing was here on the bottom edge and this zone. So this was our second trade or second opportunity, but really the first logical trade with in correlation with morning notes, in correlation with zones, with expectations, with the bearish environment, and so on. And then I said on the Twitter about this trade here that this is a rinse and repeat, and this one is really interesting because there was a divergence between DAX and the S&P. While DAX made this push down and then retraced it completely to finish it at the same zone but with the lower high. We could see that this high here is lower than this previous high, and the S&P was S&P made this move up, and this was its own second top. While DAX had the top almost the same size, S&P made just, as you can see, 38.2 retracement, while DAX retraced the complete move. And DAX retraced the complete move. That is, you know, index that is weaker than the S&P, weaker than US indices. And DAX was really showing some relative strength, and it is possibility that it is due to the weakening euro, but nevertheless this second push into the zone and the fact that it had moved much higher than S&P, it was really a gift for us to, you know, short this again. And when you are looking at the S&P for correlation and you are seeing that it makes lower lows, then you have two options. One option is to again close your trade here on the same line, taking no risk for holding, no, you know, frustrating moves to the upside, and these pullbacks and so on. Or you could say to yourself, okay, DAX is a weaker market, it is correlating with S&P, S&P is making lower lows. So this second push actually could be even better trade than this one. And we could have a bigger reward. And especially if you already had some gains here, then it's easier to sit in this. And you can also, when we have experienced this pullback, you could also draw fib retracement to this. See that this is a halfback, so your here, your entry is here. Halfback, as soon as this goes down, you're going to move your stop above 61.8 like here and wait for the market, because it could test this yesterday lows, and it did at the end. And really not to do anything here, no long trades at 9:40 p.m. on Friday, because at that time really you shouldn't be trading nothing. But if you are trading, you should really be more active on US markets at this time. And now something that could be possibilities for Monday. Possibility for Monday is this. DAX finished, as we can see, this is cash index. So DAX finished in positive territory on 5:30 p.m. It was actually closed plus 0.21%. As you can see, S&P closed minus 2%, Nasdaq minus 3%, Russell minus 2.5%. So never, don't pay attention to Nasdaq, but we should pay attention to the S&P for correlation with DAX. Plus 0.2%, minus 2%. So that means that we could see a catch-up move on Monday, and that catch-up move will be in pre-market, and that we are going to have a gap down on Monday. That is the possibility. And expect next week to be a very low liquidity markets because of the Christmas, because of the US markets are going a shortened session on Monday, and they will be closed on Tuesday. And there will be a lower liquidity. So this was the opportunities for DAX for Friday, and as I said on Twitter, I will make another video, and it will be published tomorrow. Something like more large time frames, daily, weekly, and so on all of these markets. I wish you good weekend and good trading.